Welcome back, guys, and it's time again. So we've got the second best out of 3 here today in cycle number 2 of eGTV, Hearthstone League Season 1, The Road to Northrend. My name is Larc, and with me is none other than Katniss. Hopefully I got your name right this time.
It's Katips.
Katips, okay.
I would give it's really hard to pronounce as Babel has told me, but we can stick to Katips, that's fine.
Katips, yeah. Okay, alright. Katips it is. I'll be sure to remember that.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, we've got this best out of 3 series here, and it's Muizaa versus Angeleyes. We did see Muizaa previously, who went for a 1-2 loss against ADYBD, Singaporean legend player, by the way. So can't really blame him too much on his end. He did kind of bring a little bit of flair there, like you said, the old school closed beta, very old school druid deck there. Hopefully we get to see more of that in this game here, and yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see this next match. Let's see what they open up with.
Well, what do you think both these players are going to be starting with here, by the way?
Personally, I have a feeling one of them might start with Rush, but I'm noticing a trend now, especially in tournaments. Not many people are opting to open with the Rush. They don't want to show that they're running Zoo. They don't want to show that they're running Murlocs, and they're instead saving it for later, trying to beat out the main control or the mid-range decks, and then saving the Murlocs or the Zoo decks for later.
Alright, so pretty good stuff here. By the way, guys, for those of you that are tuning in, we do apologize for a little bit of lag issues on the end here on the stream. I do believe that the players here don't really have the best upload speed, so do bear with that. And we try to bring as much as we can.
I'm part of that same very slow boat. You can feel free to blame our infrastructure. I apologize again. I do like to be. I wish I were down and have that robotic voice, but not at the moment. So let's see how this opens.
Yep, definitely. So it seems here Angeleyes is gonna be starting up with his Zoo deck. It seems he's gonna be playing his Voidwalker here on top of the Knife Juggler. He just got the top deck there on the Knife Juggler. And Muizaa, unfortunately for him, doesn't really have a play here. Can't play his Kodo just yet. He is gonna just go ahead and token up, get one of those dudes out, and just end the turn here.
Yep, so Zoo is already starting its run. He's getting all of the right cards. Here comes Young Priestess. Here comes Harvest Golem, and it's also a version of Zoo that is pretty top heavy. We have Argent Commander sitting pretty there, and there's time to strike, giving a lot of value with his Divine Shield.
For sure. Now, is the dagger gonna land on the token? That's the question. It does, so that's actually really good. The RNG goes in his favor, hits face for 4, has a really solid board there right now. Really good board advantage there, coming up for Angeleyes, that is, and that's for Muizaa now. He still doesn't have a play. Now, he can coin out a True Silver, but does he really want to?
I think he's probably hoping and praying that he gets to turn 6 and get that Avenging Wrath out and clearing out the board.
Okay, that's definitely an option as well. Now, he's actually thinking about the coin here. He does have a couple of options. Now, Consecrate's not the best here because it only deals with that Knife Juggler. Do you think he should just token up and end the turn, or? Oh, he's actually gonna Consecrate here. Interesting. So
he uses up a Consecrate. Not the best value with 3 health creatures on board, but let's see how it plays out.
Yeah,
he's probably setting it up for the Avenging Wrath later, keeping things down low on the health chart, saving his quality for the right time for when stuff like Shield Bearer comes out. Value Shield Bearer.
Yep. Now that's actually really annoying, and I'm pretty sure he's probably thinking about just playing his Young Priestess now, on top of that, and that's gonna give so much more value.
And there's
now,
the combo.
Who's it gonna buff? Oh, the Voidwalker actually gets buffed there. Probably not the target, but still. Either way, still very nice. True Silver Champion though, gonna just bite through this Shield Bearer, and that's what Shield Bearers are for, after all. I mean,
and getting a nice +2, opting instead for the annoying Shield Bearer, saving himself 1 point of health and getting 2 back.
Yeah, definitely. That's also a good thing to note there. And now for Angeleyes though, he's actually gonna tap first before he decides to do anything now.
Always a smart move as a Warlock to tap first to see what all your options are if you were gonna tap anyway.
Now, okay, so Priestess actually does buff with the Harvest Golem, so kind of a better target there. The True Silver will only get rid of the 1-2 there, so huge value there on that taunt. And he's actually going to be playing Stampede Kodo. Now, which is it going to affect? If it gets the Oh, it gets the harvest.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so
It
at
would have
least
been nice to get the young priestess and stop stop the blood flowing through into the golems, but yeah, unfortunately.
yeah, definitely. So that's actually pretty good there for him. Now he's actually gonna be playing the Archant Commander there, and Archant Commander,
Um,
like it is in our post that the Road to Northrend
Ooh,
guy, he even gets
he has
buffed up.
he just got buffed to his unnerfed status 4/3 Argent Commander, laying down the law.
Exactly. Now Moise is actually down to 10 life, and he's in a really tough predicament. He doesn't have his Consecrate on top of his quality combination. Well, not like he needs it anyways. He doesn't even have a Consecrate at all to get rid of the board here. What am I talking about? Now the thing is,
No, Avenging Wrath first. No.
so he's gonna Avenging Wrath.
Oh, okay. That was a little unfortunate. That could have been a misplay, sorry, because he could have done Avenging Wrath without, and but it does its job anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was better though to kind of pop the shield. At least he gets the damage in. So either ways, I mean, at least he removes the threat on the board. But unfortunately for him, he is probably gonna die. I think the Doom Guard does 5 damage. He's just lacking
He's
1.
down. He's missing 1 point. That's unfortunate. He could have used, if he had 8 mana, he could have done Doomguard with Shattered Sun Cleric for 10.
Yep. Well, he's
Yeah.
gonna continue applying the pressure, and
Yeah.
there we go, down to 2. Well, is that 2? Sorry, 4 life. 2 life. Okay, it's so laggish on our end. Can't really see. So he's down to 2 life there, and now Muizaa, he's not even at the turn 8 to heal himself. True Silver Champion's gonna be the choice here. He's gonna heal himself up. Okay, so that's pretty good.
Best possible play I think that he could do. Unfortunately, he was in a position that I find myself always seeming myself in where I'm always 1 turn behind from lethal. I'm always 1 mana behind from playing the play that could turn around my game. I don't know. It's just me. Probably why I'm not a legend player myself.
Yep, so unfortunately for him, again, it's just not enough. He's even, in fact, gonna buff up his Archon Commander to just get that 1 added damage there for that 1 turn kill, or 1 creep kill, you could say. And the first game, by God, is gonna be going to Angeleyes here. So Angeleyes from the Philippines, gonna be picking up the 1 victory so far in this best out of 3 series against Muizaa. And Muizaa, man, seems like he's slowly running out of steam here, it feels.
Yeah. So let's see, does he bring out his old school Druid deck again? Or does he use one of his other decks? We know that he plays Shaman, so I don't know if he wants to play Shaman to deal with a Zoo, because Zoo is very capable of trampling all over Shaman, but let's see what he goes to play with.
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying that Moises is probably going to go for his Druid. Is that correct?
I think he has a better chance with Druid personally, but I also like the chances of Shaman, because if Shaman can get control early and the Feral Spirits in play and have lightning storms in hand, he could definitely do a complete board wipe, reset the situation, put down one of his huge fire elementals, and then just start rolling from there. But if he doesn't, then Zoo will just walk right all over him, especially in early games where Shield Bearer can come out with a Young Priestess. That's a very, very annoying combo that can cause problems down the line, especially for a mid-range Shaman.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I do hope that it's gonna be a Druid deck, because I want to see a little bit more of that closed beta action, so to speak, and it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Closed beta action.
Yep, exactly, and here we go. It is gonna be the Druid after all, so good call there. The Druid gonna be going up against Angeleyes' what do you call this? His Zoo Warlock
Zoo
deck
deck.
there. Yep, so
Wow, I just saw Angeleyes' opening draw. He has 2 Emperor Cobras. He is expecting big things to come out on board, and he's expecting to use little things to take them out. Little snakes, getting annoying, getting very, very good value for a 3 value. For a 3 value minion, he's able to take down an Ancient of War. He's able to take down all of the taunts that Muizaa can put down and not have much to deal with it if he uses his removals early on.
yeah, it's actually a really good point here. Now, turn 1 here. Do you think you should coin into a Knife Juggler, or just end up?
Put down that hidden taunt on the board. I think I like that play.
Okay, so let's see.
Because next turn he can put down a Wolf, or he can put down a Priestess and keep it going. I like Angeleyes' opening hand, so he go for the Knife Juggler. Golden Knife Juggler with the golden daggers.
Yep. Pretty nice stuff, actually. Really nice. And unfortunately for Muizaa, no Wrath. Oh, gets his double Innervate there. Not like it's gonna help him. Although Keeper of the Grove is gonna get some value here, so he uses
Very
one
nice,
Innervate.
very nice.
Yep,
That was a very nice play, yeah.
For sure, and he does stop the aggression there coming in from Angeleyes. Now Angeleyes doesn't have anything to play right now. He's actually thinking, whoa, okay, so he's gonna Soulfire this. Is he? Oh, he loses Mortal Coil, so Mortal Coils there, so not the worst.
Not the worst, that's right. But Muizaa in a very good position now because he just used up his only Soulfire in his hand, and now he can do an Innervate into Druid of the Claw. So he could have a nice value on board, and you'll notice that Angeleyes is down to 2 cards. So he's down on creatures, he's now also down on hand, so because next turn he has to play a card. So, oh sorry, they're even, sorry. He has to play 1 card now, and they'd be even with 2 cards in hand.
Yeah,
but
now, yeah.
Muizaa, of course, with the beefy Druid of the Claw in play.
Yeah, that Druid of the Claw is gonna get so much value here. It's so unfortunate though for Muizaa. I mean, not for Muizaa, for Angeleyes, because he doesn't have anything that can actually help him. He's gonna be forced to run that the dire doggy. Yeah, so just gonna feed the doggy there to the bear. Pretty standard, you know. It's just the laws of the jungle, and he's gonna go for face here with his Zero Power in the turn.
Yeah, unfortunately, Doggy has no chance against the bear sitting there. Yep. Muizaa actually in a good position. He can use his trees as a defensive measure. He can use Starfall as a defensive measure, and down the line he has his lore in hand to keep the card draw going. So, but Angeleyes with a semi-value play, an Argent Squire always a good value at 1 mana, and now he's getting buffed up to 1/2 and keeping it going with a Divine Shield. So that's a pretty good, that's a pretty decent play.
But would you have just liked to see him not play the Young Priestess and played later with, behind a taunt? Because it feels like it didn't really get its value there.
That's right. He was only to give 1. Oh, here comes the annoying, here comes the annoying Shield Bearer. Exactly. Oh wow, that's a great play. That gives him a lot of defensive options now. So now Muizaa has to think about what he's going to do in turn 7. He has a number of options behind him. He can choose to Starfall for 2 for all creatures at the moment, but he doesn't have any good way of finishing off most of these minions. So let's see what he chooses to go with.
Do you think Starfall for just that 5 damage on the 1/5 is worth it? Probably not.
Depends on how annoyed he is with the Shield Bearer. I would have done it early on. I wouldn't even have thought about it. I just Shield Bearer, Starfall, goodbye.
Yeah. Well, he might actually just decide to bite and Hero Power here to kill off the 1/5.
Yeah.
But
that's also a good option. But it also means he has, well, good use of his mana, and it also gives him more armor, so that's always good.
I guess, and well, either ways, turn 7, he has a couple of options. He has either the Ancient of Lore or the Ancient of War. So one of the Ancients will be making its appearance here for sure.
Here come the March of the Ants. Here come the trees. But Commander will still come into play and his 4 damage with authority, giving him the Commander title as it is. Yep. So, Angeleyes with a pretty dominating board at the moment, but we now have Faceless Manipulator. So we're now at turn 7. As I said earlier, this is a time when Muizaa has a number of options. I think he's going to go for the 5/10. I think that's a pretty safe option. So let's see what Angeleyes comes up with. We do see that he has a second commander in his hand. Yep. I don't know why 2 commanders are allowed in the same army, but we'll see.
Yes. Well, double the commanders can never go wrong.
Could be an Argent Major or Argent Sergeant, But 2 commanders is just mismanagement right there. Yeah.
It's actually really good here because he does get rid of the what do you call this, the huge taunt there, but unfortunately for him, Starfall's gonna get a lot of value here.
That's right. Oh, here comes Ironbark Protector for that old school defensive feel. OG tree, but no, he chooses to take off the shield off of the Argent Squire. Let's see what he comes up with. Oh, okay. Very good play, I think. I think this is the best possible play for this.
He gets so much value. Like, he removes every single minion, and the thing is, he always can rely on his huge minions after, the coming turns, and...
That's right. It's looking very bad for Angeleyes because he's down to 0 cards effectively if he uses up his 1 card. And notice, even after all that tempo, he's down on life.
Yeah, actually, that's very true. He's actually down to 18 life there. Just because he recently tapped, but... I mean, this is the problem there. He's run out of steam, and it's coming to the late game where Muizaa is just gonna steamroll him with huge minion after huge minion after huge minion. Now, Do you think he should just play his what do you call this? The big three there.
Tree bark protector. Yeah, I think he should just go tree bark protector unless he wants to go with the big finish with a lore first. But I think his safest play would be to do a tree and then faceless manipulator it for next turn, because I think Angeleyes, especially with both commanders out of play, has run out of options. Because Zoo at turn 8, if you haven't finished off your opponent, you're kind of, bordering on death yourself with no cards in hand.
So it's actually going to try to clear off the minions here on the board, which I guess is not that bad, since...
That's not so bad, yeah.
It's for fear of... he's actually not. He's going to go for more card draw, apparently. So Ancient of Larc actually is going to be the choice here. It's going to come out. Ragnaros, there we go. That's a friend we haven't seen in a really long time, surprisingly. And Angeleyes, man, he does have Doomguard, so that's pretty good. And he can actually cast that without losing cards now, which is very, very nice for him.
That's right.
So... what do you think? Doomguard,
I think Doomguard's gonna take out the Ancient of Lore just to keep the tempo up, keep his taunt minion in play.
Ooh.
I think it's a good trade for Doomguard to take out. Oh, he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, well, he has another Doomguard in hand.
That's right.
So that's pretty good. Now,
will we see a purging by fire? That's the question.
YOLO Rag? It could
YOLO
be
Rag. With armor up and biting into the last of the squire. It could be, so we could see that. Or we could go for some trees. Many options available.
I don't know, what do you think? Do you think that just playing the Iron Bark Protector here and then hero powering up to kill a 2-1 is fine?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good also.
Let's see what he opts to.
Let's see what he does. Because I would have played Ragnaros as soon as I saw him in turn 8. It's just, he's just so good. It's such a big threat, and if you have no reliable way of taking him out, he just goes on and on for the end game. So,
but here's the thing, though. We know what's in hand for Angeleyes, so if you did do that, you might have died if Rag didn't target the 5-7.
That's true. That's very true.
So it seems like he's gonna go with a really safe play here. Trade the minions on the board, gets the huge beefy taunter, and he's even gonna take out the 2-1. Oh, he's thinking about going for face. Probably not the best choice. There we go. So gets rid of the golem there. It's gonna be a damaged one. And let's see what Angeleyes gets. It's a little bit laggy.
A little bit slow. Okay.
Well, he can't get rid of the taunt now, so that's good. And still do 5 damage to the face and drop him to 4.
So Doomguard a little underpowered to take out that gigantic tree. Let's see how this plays out. He's probably going to run the damage golem into it. Yep, he's going to go for it. And will he go for the face is the question. Yep, he goes for the face. Okay. So this is it. This is the end of the line for Angeleyes. If he doesn't complete this in the next few turns, then it's... Oh, ouch. Okay, that's going to hurt.
Well, he doesn't necessarily need to do this. What he could do is he could actually... Can he win here? Let's see. No, he can't really win.
He can. He does have lethal.
Oh wait, he does. He does have power of the wall. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. And here we go. Panther power.
So 6.
Ouch.
3.
Ouch. Ouch. And ouch. To close out the second game for Muizaa.
Yeah. What a way. What a way to finish it. Muizaa, man. At least he's gonna bring it to a. Well.
Decisive game 3.
A really decisive game 3, and. That was really clutch, though. It was a good thing he was able to have that power of the wall there. Really helped him out in that regard there. So that's really good for him. And now Angeleyes is gonna be forced to change up his deck. He lost out his Zoo. Now let's take a look at his other decks. He is running a Paladin as well as a Druid. Now, which one do you think he's actually probably gonna opt for in this game here?
I think I like Paladin versus Druid, honestly, because Druid versus Druid could, that's an even matchup depending on the build. It could go either way. It's a very risky mirror. It's also a very tiring one. Even if he wins a Druid versus Druid, a mirror match of a Druid versus Druid is kind of like a Paladin versus Paladin. It just goes on forever. It could be mentally draining. It could be crucial in a possible third game. So. Sorry, it could be... Well, actually, if he does win with a Druid, then that's the set for him. But I personally like Paladin versus Druid. But let's see. He could have a better Druid than this old school one.
right.
He
So
could be running a new school versus the old school, so that would be interesting to see.
yeah, we get to see who actually is the better one, who can rock out. Is it the old or the new? But yeah, since you're saying he's probably gonna go for Paladin, I'm just gonna go ahead and go for the Druid just for that factor there. Now, Druid matchup is always pretty. I guess sometimes it gets a little bit boring to watch because it's like the same guys doing the same shit over and over again.
Let's call us again when it's turn 5 and something happens. So
exactly. But yeah, man, I'm really excited for this game number 3. That is, by the way, Muizaa versus Angeleyes here in this best out of 3 series. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is eGTV Hearthstone League Season 1, Cycle number 2. The best out of 3 series here of Muizaa versus Angeleyes. Game number 3, here we go. It's gonna be the Druid. Versus that Paladin, like you guys mentioned.
Yeah, so he's opting for a possibly, I don't know. The current Druid, the old Druid with Tinkmaster used to be definitely a bigger threat against Paladin because Tinkmaster is just such an easy removal for Tyrion or Sunwalkers. But right now, Paladin is a really nice place. Oh, with this opening hand, he is running Paladin aggro, so he chooses to run 2 aggro decks in this season. So let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I think this is the first aggro Paladin deck we've seen so far in the entire of the Hearthstone League Season 1. I mean, Cycle 1 we didn't really see much of an aggro. You see there, Muizaa's forced the coin into the hero power just to get rid of the the leper gnome there, because it's just so annoying. And now Angeleyes doesn't really have a play here. She's gonna go ahead and dude up, or token up, so to speak. And yeah.
He might have a Blessing of Might, and that dude just turn into a awesome bro and then just starts wreaking damage. But at the moment, he does have a pretty useless hand, because Consecrate won't do much without Equality, and having both Consecrates in hand against Druid's beefy creatures is a little bit of a disadvantage at the moment.
Yeah, it seems like he's actually just gonna go ahead and Muizaa, that is, just hero power up and kill off the token, make sure it's not able to buff it up. I think he kind of knows what's going on, since he can see already that
Turn 1 Leper is a pretty obvious indicator of what type of deck this is gonna be.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. Do you think he should actually power up the wild into a 3-2? Or do you think he should just hero power up?
I think that would give the Harvest Golem way too much value. And especially, that would be a nice turnaround for Angeleyes, because he's a bit of a disadvantage right now. Especially looking at Muizaa's hand, he has a bunch of removals at his disposal, and a Yeti coming in turn 4. So he does just opt to armor up and go for the face. So let's see what happens next. But maybe Angeleyes, if our country's lag would permit us to see his draw, maybe we'll see some action.
Yeah, for sure. Now, okay, so he does play his Noble Sacrifice on top of the Dude and the Argent Square. So at least we still have Muizaa's board to see what's going on, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, Muizaa here is just gonna play his Chilbin Yeti, and that's a huge minion on the board already.
Yep, so even with all those minions on the board, even with Get Down. Ooh, okay. Suddenly it's starting to look better for him with True Silver Champion in hand. He can just swing once, throw one of his dudes at it, and still have nice board control. So let's see where this goes. Yeah,
he's gonna in fact do the play what you did, like you said right there, and hit face for 3. So that's a pretty good option there. And now Angeleyes still with a pretty decent board, and that's secret, by the way. So Muizaa now doesn't really have, well, he can't just get a huge minion on the board with that Druid of the Claw.
Yep. So he's deliberating whether to regain control of the board or which of his removals to use at this moment, because given this aggro deck, it's very unsure how much value you get out of certain removals. You can use Bite, but that's 4 damage you're wasting on a 1/1, or 4 damage wasting against the Harvest Golem. So he does choose to get the most value by just put down a Druid of the Claw in its bear configuration, and throwing Harvest Golem at it, giving him back his damaged Golem, and still having board control with a Get Down for good measure, and ends his turn with a do so. Angeleyes in a very good position board-wise, and starting to get some semblance of a hand back.
For sure. Look at that. Muizaa's actually gonna try to pop the bubble, but unfortunately runs into 1 damage there because of the noble sacrifice. So his armor only saving 1. Swipe is gonna get some value here at least. Well,
Pretty good, pretty good.
I guess kind of, since those are really small cards. So. But unfortunately, it doesn't kill off the the little queen there, the priest or
the bro's girlfriend.
The bro's girlfriend,
She survived.
exactly. Yeah, she survived because of the shield. Now, Arcane Golem, I don't think he wants to play that, especially against the Druid. Oh, he's actually gonna go for it here.
Who gets the buff? And
Wow. Okay. So he buffs up his girlfriend there.
the girlfriend.
The bro's girlfriend. Yeah, for sure. At least.
Oh,
He's
here
gonna be
comes the
pretty
value
sad.
starfall. Ouch, that's gonna hurt.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. The
He's
value.
yeah, he's
Wish
probably
upon the star and got his wish, clearing out Angeleyes' entire board and bringing him back to a ferocious 23 health with
that's
an advantage.
so insane. Like honestly, he's probably feeling pretty salty. He's gonna consecrate though, so at least he protects his Leroy Jenkins.
Okay, okay.
So that's
He doesn't have many options at the moment. He has no card draw. All of his options are down to Leroy and making the most out of it.
Yep.
But Muizaa's hand is pretty convincing. It's pretty strong. He can just take out with... He can put down a Yeti, of course, value Yeti for 4 mana, leaving him with 5 to do with whatever he pleases. He can just opt for a Claw, taking Leroy's damage to the face.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he definitely wants to just, kill off that huge minion on the board right now.
He probably knows that the normal aggro paladin doesn't have many options in the way of card draw, and is using it to his advantage. Now with Angeleyes down to 2 cards, after playing 1 next turn, is putting him in a pretty tight spot with value Yeti on the board, of course.
And he actually played the Panther there, so he's actually gonna go up for that Panther instead. Now, dude's gonna come out here, and is he actually gonna shield this? Yep, he is actually gonna shield it.
Yeah,
right there.
no choice at the moment.
It's a little bit sad, because seems like we're lagging. Okay, so Consecrate actually is gonna be coming out now. The Panther dies. The Yeti is down to 3 life. Now, the question is, what is Muizaa gonna do here? He has so many options. He can even play his Carrying Bloodhoof if he wants to.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think Karen is his best option, and maybe pop the bubble and get rid of... Because if he can put Karen down, take out the 2/2 with his Yeti, and bite into the shield... So he's probably just going to clear the board. So even if he gets away with a Yeti, that's still 2 Yetis in play remaining in Bloodhoof. So, but Angeleyes does have the silence, so he can opt to use that and find a way by some miracle to take out the single Karen. And not going to get much value off of his Draven Acidic Ooze. So Muizaa in a pretty good spot right now, even being at 10 health.
Yeah, for sure. He's just trying to play his whatever minion. The thing is, I feel Angeleyes has come to an end already. He's basically run out of steam right now, and oh, look at that. Look at that top deck. What a way to make it even much more scary.
The OG putting his butt out there, his 10 health butt, and just stopping this paladin in its tracks.
Yeah, for sure. Gets rid of the 2/1, 4/5 to the 3/2. It will be down to 2 life, but again, the double consecrates have been used already, and now Angeleyes is probably thinking to himself, well, that's game, because I think I'm probably not going to be having anything to kind of deal with that 5/10. Now, I don't think rush decks run with things like equality, so he's probably going to be screwed right now. Royally screwed at that as well.
The army of dudes and bros and their girlfriends will not be enough. Are no match for a gigantic tree standing in their way, and more coming. Oh my gosh, here comes a faceless manipulator. He can just drop that down and end this right here. Angeleyes pretty much out of options. He's conceding in chat, typing out the GG.
I think he should have actually just faceless manipulated first, so that he still has the life there. But yeah, anyways, he still gets another huge taunt on the board, and now Angeleyes is like, shit, what do I do with this?
Oh my god, so many trees.
Elder Peacekeeper is gonna come out. Now
Mm.
that doesn't really save him still. He
Yeah.
can just keep summoning more dudes and hope to God
Yep.
that the dudes will slowly chip away at the
His
armor there.
dudes, his dudes looking at Uther and saying, "Why are you doing this to us? Just throwing us into the meat grinder. What did we do against these trees? Oh my god, here comes Savage Roar.
And
And
bite.
that is game.
Yep.
Wow, attack of the Ents.
That's a huge amount of damage. 6 to the face from here upon Muizaa going for that BM finish and -3 life down by Angeleyes and Angeleyes, man, holy cow. He's
Ouch.
actually gonna lose this year. So Muizaa redeems himself and wins this best out of 3 series. So that, I guess he's gotta be feeling pretty good at least in that kind of sense. Because Angeleyes, after taking that one game with the Zoo deck, it looked like that Muizaa was actually in a pretty tough spot, but he did find a way to get out and eventually won.
Yep, so Paladin, we were talking about this in the podcast recently, how certain aggro decks just run out of steam, and this is a good example of it. This type of Paladin aggro, when it runs out of steam, it has no card draw. If it doesn't run equality, that's even worse because you can see against OG trees right there, there's no way past them. And if you can't kill them in the first 5 or 6 turns, if you don't draw your blessing of might for your dudes, you're in a pretty bad spot. Too much removal, too many good legendaries at the end of the game for something like a druid or a control warrior. So we saw it right there. That was textbook aggro running out of steam. So unfortunately for Angeleyes, his army of bros just wasn't enough to cut it.
Yeah, I think they were just off chasing off other girlfriends.
Yeah.
They lost.
Well, there
one.
were so many. That was like a 7-to-1 bro to girl ratio. So they might be a little frustrated, not coming out at the right time. Not enough to go
sure.
around, basically.
Definitely. Anyways, guys, so do stay tuned. We still got a lot more Hearthstone action. That was I think that was the third or second best out of 3 series?
That was the second best out of 3. Up next, we have Angeleyes versus Unistar for our third match.
Yep.
So stick around with us, guys, for more Hearthstone action.